Hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, and today we're going to take a look at purchasing one of the new supercars that Rockstar have furnished us with as part of this latest casino DLC. And the car we shall be purchasing today will be the Truffade Thrax, or Thrax, I'm not entirely certain how it's supposed to be pronounced. Now, as you can see, we're leaving the casino there in a long black limousine, and we're heading on over to my Maze Bank office, which is where I like to purchase most of my supercars. Now, I must warn you about my secretary. She will get up. Yes, there she is. Always a nervous tell, don't you know? I do believe that is. She really is a rather suspicious lady, and I quite detest her, if I'm perfectly frank with you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I can see by the save successful in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen above the map there, we're having a few issues today. Now, I'm not entirely certain if this is part of the latest DLC or connection my end, but either way, the Truffade Thrax can be found under part of the legendary motorsport website, and there she is, retailing, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, for $2,325,000, and that really is a lot of money indeed. Okie dokie, right, we're going to go ahead and order that. I think we're going to send it up to the Hillcrest residence, don't you know, ladies and gentlemen, as always. Now, on this occasion, we're not going to be driving there directly, I'm afraid. We do have to go and pick up my good friend Mr. Raccoon, who is out and about, don't you know, this evening for a bit of GTA fun. So let's go and do that right now. Okay, now he is over at the casino himself, then, you know, ladies and gentlemen, and why wouldn't he be, you know? And so we're going to go on, actually, now I think right now I've got to go in and meet the Raccoon. I really ought to pug up, you know. So here we go, right, there we go, Puglo Escobar, all sort of suited and booted as well. This is my casino outfit, I've decided, ladies and gentlemen. I don't wish to visit this establishment looking tidy or sort of disheveled, so yes, here we go. I've got a nice tuxedo on, so I'm sure they'll be more than happy to accept my business. Okay, now here we go. Oh, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Well, we're inside the casino, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Truffade Thrax, or Thrax, I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to pronounce that. Yes, but there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the car we intend to purchase, and rather fine-looking vehicle, isn't she? Yes, okie dokie, yes, jolly good indeed. Okay, now we are really waiting for Mr. Raccoon. That's the only reason why we've really come over here. We haven't come over to have a look at the vehicle, of course. We wouldn't bother to do that in normal circumstances. Having said that, in normal circumstances, of course, the cars aren't normally spinning around in casinos. Okay, and there is Mr. Raccoon, and yes, he's walked into the lobby in his underwear. He really is a most disgraceful and he's no regard for social convention, you know, this Raccoon. He seems to think it's funny, in fact, you know. He's delighted with himself, in fact, for walking around in his underwear in such a sort of a esteemed place, you know. And yes, now he's dancing to draw attention to himself. Yes, you see, this really is why I hang around with him. He's absolutely insane. Okay, then, right, there we now he's switched over there. That's more suitable, Mr. Raccoon. Yes, I approve far more of that outfit. Yes, he switched over into his tuxedo himself, don't you know. Right, okay, we've stepped outside, and there we go. He's in his latest vehicle, don't you know. And this is the Obey 8F Drafter, I do believe. And this is a sports car. And as you can see, by the way, he's just slid into the car there. Like I said, we are having strange issues today. Can't be certain if this is a connection problem, an internet problem, or a glitch as part of the DLC, you know. Maybe they need to go and bug fix. I couldn't be certain. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's worth bearing in mind this very important point that may well affect the results that we're going to get from the upcoming test, don't you know. Okay, but for now, we've got no other choice but to crack on with it, ladies and gentlemen, haven't we? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk into the garage now, the garage here, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the Truffade Thrax, or Thrax, Thrax, it's got to be Thrax, hasn't it? Yeah, so what do we think? Okay, looks shockingly similar to the Nero, doesn't it? I mean, that does look like the Chiron. That is effectively still the Nero, isn't it? Let's be quite frank. Okay, not much difference. I haven't said that the outer looked quite similar to the Nero, but there was differences in the stylings. That does look shockingly similar. Okay, and whoopsie daisies, missed out on the slow round there, didn't I? Okay, we'll have to do that. I'll pick that up when we go outside, I think. I hit the button by mistake. Okay, so let's have a look around it, shall we? What do we think? Well, it's the Nero, isn't it, with a different bonnet and a bit of a livery down the side there, this sort of tricolor. Okay, and there's my good friend Mr. Raccoon in his Obey 8F Drafter, or Drafter, I'm not entirely certain. Okie dokie, well, let's take it on out then. Now, this is the Truffade Thrax, you know, and, well, it feels very much like the other Bugattis, you know. It's based on Bugatti Veyron, you know, no, not actually, Bugatti Chiron. I've got no idea what this car is based on. The others are based upon the Bugatti Bayron, the Bugatti Chiron, the Adder, and the Nero, respectively, of course, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. Well, they feel very similar, those two cars, and this this third car in this sort of series does feel very similar to it. Those other two. Okay, it's sort of hasn't got massive launch power there. It sort of builds up to its speed in a very smooth way, ladies and gentlemen. Its handling's perfectly reasonable, very nice, in fact. Top end speed, well, we'll have to find that out later. It feels quite fast, doesn't it, when you get up going? But like I say, not much in the way of acceleration, to be quite frank with you. Handling is well, it's not sluggish at all. It's quite nice, but it's a little bit heavy compared perhaps to the other two. I wouldn't like to say, but of course this hasn't been upgraded yet. You understand, ladies and gentlemen? So it may well improve. Okay, and it's not a bad vehicle at all, but it certainly hasn't wowed me for nearly 2.5 million straight out the box, to be quite frank with you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We're now back at the Maze Bank offices, as you can see, and we'll be taking on the Thrax inside, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okie dokie. Right, and we're going to take it into the custom auto shop as always, and of course, as always, during this stage of the video, we will be speeding things along somewhat and playing the video at double speed so that we can hurry it along. Okay, nevertheless, we'll go through some of the more basic upgrades here before we move on to the stylings, and there we go, we're already on to the stylings already. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and put this sort of engine and whatnot there, slammed it to the ground a little bit more, I do believe. I don't know if I went to the suspension, I probably did. Certainly gone ahead and done some of the other upgrades, and now, as you can see, we're on the styling elements, and right, okay, well, there we go, that's rather strange, isn't it? You know, I wouldn't normally, but I think I'm going to go for that. Right, okay, and here we go, right, okay, onto the grill, are we? Now, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, I will point this out for perhaps the second time in this video, and I may well point it out again. This is the brand new Rockstar DLC. This is the brand new Casino DLC from Rockstar, and this is the very first time essentially playing it, other than purchasing a penthouse earlier today. And it does seem that once I've linked up with my associate here, Mr. Raccoon, that we are experiencing all kinds of glitches that we don't normally experience. Now, we do play on a regular basis, and this sort of thing never normally happens. Now, I cannot be certain whether, as I said previously, whether this is an internet issue or locally or whatnot. Or if this is perhaps some sort of bug, you know, with the latest update. Couldn't be certain, ladies and gentlemen, but it is always worth bearing in mind that is going to affect some of what you see. There will be a lot of strange maneuvering and slamming into things that apparently actually isn't really happening, you know. But there we go, right, okay, now there we go, we're on to the two-tone colour now, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? That's jolly good. Right, okay, I don't like those colours, but I do like the idea of the two-tone there. In fact, I was rather hoping that it would be style that way. Okay, well, I'm thinking I've got blue and white, so why not red and white? Okay, red and white looks absolutely awful, that's why not red and white. Okay, maybe if we flip it around and try the other way, white on the wings there and red on the main body. Okay, like I say, I've got the Neros in blue and white, so why not try for actually the black look like, couldn't it? Red and white? No, I don't like it, you know what I did like though? I did like that black. Okay, there we go. I think it's wine red before, but the black does look, I think that's how I'm going to go for it now. Right, okay. And here we are, we've taken it outside. We're going to go on a standard lab, ladies and gentlemen, don't you know? And here's Mr. Raccoon, you know, he does want to come along for the ride, and I am certainly going to oblige him with regard to that particular request, and of course, why would I not? Okay, right, well, as you can see, having difficulty getting in there, like I say, rather peculiar, like I say, I can't keep repeating this, but I'm going to have to. Yes, don't know if there's an internet problem or a bug or a glitch or something, but here we go. Look, there we go, dragging him up the street. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Telling me he's in the car, you know, but obviously doesn't look like it on our screen there, as you can see, and there we go, we've lost him. Okay, and he's inside the car now. So, yes, that's just one of the sort of things that we're experiencing on this particular run, ladies and gentlemen. May well interfere with the results, may well have to come back and do another video on it if the fact it has had detrimental effects on the performance of this vehicle, but for now we shall just assume that this is how the vehicle is supposed to function, and that's what we're going to go ahead with. Right, okay, now you can see coming down the long straight here, very nimble through these cars, no problem at all really. Clip one there, that's a shame, but you get the general idea. Very fast, very nimble, and it handles corners relatively well, don't you know? Okay, now here we're going to bring it on down. I do believe Mr. Raccoon wants to go in it, of course, and so we're going to take him out, and now you're going to sort of more witness what's going on here. Now, the only reason why I'm going to leave this in the video, ladies and gentlemen, I could well cut it out, of course, is just to show you the sort of problems that we're experiencing, and just to allow it to sink in, as it were. Like I say, that may well affect the performance of this vehicle. Right, as you can see, sat in the passenger seat there, hasn't moved over, right, which is rather peculiar, and now he finally has. Okie dokie, now I want to get in the passenger side, but I still think he's sat there, and so I can't get in. Right, okay, finally I decide I want to get in the passenger side, and jolly good. Okie dokie, and here he's going to go. Now, apparently, by all accounts, he only hits 1 or 2 vehicles, doesn't have a bad run on what you're about to see here. But as you see on my camera, he's all over the shop. He's driving like a drunken maniac, or at least he will be when he sets off, and there we go. Right, and there we go, listen, when you're getting an idea. Now, I do apologize, this is going to be rather jarring, you know, it's going to appear that it's sort of cuts and the camera's skipping ahead, but this is actually what I'm witnessing on the screen, you know, this is in real time, so to speak. Like I say, this isn't a recording fault of any kind, this is literally what I'm seeing as we're playing. So, and he apparently didn't go in there either. And he didn't do that either, according to, by all accounts, as I was sort of talking to him as he was driving. He was not aware of what I was talking about at all. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, can't be certain here, like I say, if this is internet or bug, ladies and gentlemen, but it does sort of prove my point to you that we are having some severe problems, and apparently he didn't cruise to a halt there either. Yes, like I said, we are having some severe problems with when we've hooked up now. We've been playing in sort of normal public lobbies and whatnot. This is not a private lobby, this is a public lobby, but it is just got us 2 in it. I've been playing in other lobbies and not experienced any difficulty whatsoever, but there we go, we've hooked up, we've linked up now, and it does seem to be causing us some difficulty. Okie dokie, well, that really is rather a shame. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now, as it happens, I do have another chance to try another lap at this, so I think I will. And, right, okay, that's another example of just what's going on here. Sort of like the bullet time, isn't it, from the Matrix movie there, only more irritating. Right, okay, and what's going on? Cars jumping all over the shop. Can I get in the wretched thing? There we go. Right, and I think we're going to take it into the garage, but I do switch to a different lobby, I think, or I think we go away and try to reset the internet, don't you know, at some point, and give that standard lab another go, and then we also go on to some tests shortly, ladies and gentlemen, around Sandy Shores Airstrip, don't you know, and yes, don't you, we reset the internet there as well, just to see if this isn't, like I say, some localized problem that we can't quite figure out what's going on. Okay, now this is the second, or rather the third, I suppose, on this video, but this is my second sort of standard lap, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, I believe I've gone and closed down the system or something. I'm not entirely certain what I've done. I can't really remember at this point, to be quite frank with you. But it does, quite frankly, I was going to say it seems to have improved. I didn't really have any trouble when I was driving the vehicle, as you saw before. It was only when Mr. Raccoon took the wheel that the camera got all skippy. Right, okay, there we go. Like I say, heading on down now. Now, you saw they took that bottom right-hand corner, no problem at all, at high speed. So I'm going to put this in the gutter, I'm afraid, but you can be assured, as you saw from that previous right turn, which is why this made it into the video as well, that yes, this car actually can handle corners at high speed, and as you'd expect really from one of the Truffades, don't you know. And okay, here we are now, we're back in Maze Bank offices, and I do believe we will put this car away. I'm jolly good. Right, okay, we're going to stick it down there for now and go and put it with the other Truffades later, I think. And there we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now we've arrived. Oh, she's just going to keep gibbering, that lady. Right, okay, yes, now we've arrived at the track, and we're going to put it up against different cars. The first things first, of course, the Zentorno. $725,000 for the Zentorno. $235,000, I think it was $235,000, something like that, for the Truffade. And my good God, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we really do like the Zentorno, ladies and gentlemen. Right, okay, what the hell happened there? Right, okay, and he's skipping about all over the place. Right, like I say, this is the Zentorno versus the Thrax there, and as you can see, we do like the Zentorno, and we like it to destroy things, but not when we've paid $2.5 million for it. Okay, so like I said, but you could see it was skipping around, so like I say, could be a glitch, could be an internet issue. May have to rerun these tests. We've run them a couple of times just to make sure we're getting consistent results. And like I say, this may even be after we'd reset our internet, I have sort of compiled a few clips here together. Okie dokie, right, and there we go. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the Zentorno absolutely smashing it. It really is crushing it, let's be honest. It's a beast. So, okay, that's rather... We do like the Zentorno, but like I say, in these circumstances, rather bitter pill to swallow, to be quite frank with you. Okay, that's $2.5 million down the drain, isn't it? Let's be quite frank with you. Right, and there we go. Now we're going to try it up against this new guy. You know, I can't... This is an Enos, I do believe. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the name. It's not my vehicle. Obviously, it's Mr. Raccoon's. He's got him purchased it. It's one of the latest vehicles on the GTA Online game. I do believe it's called the Enos. I could be wrong there, something like that. And as you can see, the yes, there we go. Okay, right. The Truffade is, I believe he said it was $900,000, just under $1 million, I believe, for that car. It is a sports car, and it's just destroyed something that cost basically $1.5 million more than it. Okay, 2,300,000, whatever it was, 2,300,000 versus 900,000 that was, and it was in the gutter. Okay, now this is, I believe this is just the Obey 8F Drafter, was it? Okay. Can it beat this sodding thing? Is there anything out there that this new Bugatti or this new Truffade can beat? Okay, we're back on the home straight, and thank goodness for that. Okay, at least it can beat an Audi. Right, I assume that's what they're based on. The Obeys, could be wrong, you know, no idea really. Okie dokie, and there we go. Right, there we go. I mean, not much to say. It's a small consolation. Right, okay, now we're going to, there's only one real question now, isn't it? It's not going to be the Zentorno, so it can't beat the, it can't beat much else, really, can it? We're going to put it up against the Nero. Can it beat the Nero? Now, it should be pointed out, of course, this isn't the Venice Custom Nero. This is just the standard Nero. Okay, and a little bit skippy about there, as you can see, and they're pretty much neck and neck down there, and now the Nero is actually pulling away, would you believe it? Like I say, not the Venice Custom Nero, just the standard Nero. This is absolutely awful to watch. And what the bloody hell's he doing? Sodding Raccoon. Right, okay, don't expect that kind of behaviour from him. He doesn't normally do it, you know, but there we go. What a swine. Now, like I said, I believe one of these takes is actually after we reset our internet and whatnot. We're trying to get consistent results, don't you know, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and here we go again. And look at that. That's absolutely shocking. Okay, Mr. Raccoon. Granted, Mr. Raccoon is a better driver than me, but I think we're witnessing something that we really don't wish to see at all. It would appear, ladies and gentlemen, that the Nero is at least holding its own with the Thrax there. Oh my good God, no! Right, okay, what the hell's going on there? Right, and the Nero's just come soaring past it, hasn't it? Jesus Christ! Okay, this is turning out to be rather unpleasant, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Right, okay, now maybe it's my driving, you know. Like I say, Mr. Raccoon is a better driver, so we're going to go ahead and put him in the Thrax there, and I've decided that's how it is got to be pronounced, you know. Thrax there, and we're going to put him in the Thrax, and we're going to put me in the Nero, and we're going to see what the hell happens this time. Okay, $2.5 million, like I say, it's going to go down the drain, isn't it? Getting that feeling rather sinking feeling in my gut. Okay, now I'm in the Nero here. We're up against Mr. Raccoon in the Thrax there, and oh Jesus Christ. Right, I'm taking in fact, an awful corner. I've actually come off the track, would you believe, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm still neck and neck with him, don't you know? Came off the track, and now I'm overtaking him. Came off the track, and now I'm overtaking him, ladies and gentlemen. Okay then, so I think that pretty much sums it up for the new Truffade Thrax, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, like I say, I will say this just before I come to the final point, which is, could well be a connection issue our end, could well be a glitch or something like that, but it does seem that the Thrax is an absolute pile of dog doo, don't you know? And what do I think of it, ladies and gentlemen? Right, okay, swiping thing there is not going to help. Right, this is what I think of it. God damn it, $2.5 million down the drain. Jesus Christ, that really is utter waste of money. Right, okay, there we go. Sorry to have to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Normally try to contain my temper, you know, on these videos, but like I say, the Thrax, should you buy it? Certainly not. Okay, there we go. Anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching.